So our first speaker, Jayalakshmi R, is joined back. So our next speaker will be Toastmaster Jayalakshmi R. And this speech is evaluated by the Toastmaster Asif Nisa, who is working as a delivery manager in UST Global and 18 years of experience in IT and worked in US and India. His hobbies including running, cycling, and traveling. Toastmaster Asif Nisa, can you briefly introduce what you are expecting from speaker?
Thanks, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. The speaker is attempting level 1 project 2 in presentation mastery pathway. The objective of the speech in high level is to present a well-organized and well-delivered speech. The speech can be humorous, informational, or any style the speaker chooses. The duration of the speech is 5 to 7 minutes. I wish all the best to my speaker. Back to you, Ninoj.
Thank you, Toastmaster Asif Nisa. Toastmaster Jayalakshmi R. She is a chartered accountant and visiting faculty at Rajagiri, and a gold medalist in Bachelor in Commerce, and a passionate travel, and a mother of 2 blooming buds. And she loves doodling, glass painting, and blogging. And today's her speech title is Picked Up By Toastmaster Jayalakshmi.
Give me problems. Give me the most abstruse cryptogram or the most intrinsic analysis. I'm in my own atmosphere. I can dispense with artificial stimulants, but I abhor the dull routine of existence. I crave for mental exaltation. That's why I have chosen this profession. Fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, if you have guessed it right, these are the excerpts from Sir Arthur Conan's Sherlock Holmes story, The Sign of 4. Have you ever asked the question, why do you read? Is it to learn, to get entertained, to improve your vocabulary, or to get facts? Have you ever tried to set the purpose before reading? As a reader, I set my purpose with 4 eyes. I recognize the ideas presented, move beyond the surface, and make straightforward inferences, and finally interpret and integrate the information. An author's purpose is as simple as a pie: to persuade, to inform, and entertain. But as a reader, you go by the rule of pick, where you need to understand your purpose, your interests, you comprehend and ascertain the knowledge that you have gained. When you have to pick one of the pie, always rationalize the purpose. At this juncture, I would like to comprehend a few reading strategies to make it more effective. Always begin with studying the background and activate the known facts. During reading, critically engage to understand the relationship between ideas and how evidences are used to support position. And finally, inform your knowledge to draw conclusion and form an opinion on what you read. That earmarks the vicious circle of what do you know, what do you want to know, and what you have learned, so-called the KWL strategy. So, how do we start to manifest ideas? Ideas are usually articulated in the form of themes. In the fiction that I have referred to, the author in due course have portrayed 4 themes, namely betrayal, fear, justice, and imperialism. Themes are concrete facts that leads us towards the main idea and moves the reader from generic to specific. We make a variety of inferences. Some are automatic, while others are deliberate. Apprehension and coherence, in turn, drives the type and depth of inferences. Dr. Watson makes an inference about the missing person from his doctor's approach, while Mr. Holmes makes the same from an evidence which happens to be a letter. Dr. Watson also believes that the writer is a man of character, which Holmes denies. Even though there are two different inferences drawn by two different people, how do we interpret and choose the right one? How many of us have drawn inaccurate inferences? These are the common fallacies and biases. When you reach out to one of your friends and it happens that he has got into his own things, you may infer, my other friends were right. He's not bothered about others. But you're not aware of the fact that he was in the middle of a legal settlement, which you discover later. So we need to interpret the inferences to arrive at the correct conclusion. As a book cannot be judged by its cover, pay attention to the data, then to the conclusion of the person reporting the information. Holmes' skillful questioning and gathering of clues like analysis of footprints, boat welding, dart shooting, paid him to chase the convict, who in turn happens to be the writer of the letter. These facts helps us to analyze the clues, apply reasoning skills and hypothesis, which explains the steps in its derivation. When you remove the improbable and impossible, what is left is the truth. The truth that the journey of life begins with every page you turn. The goal is not to achieve an understanding of everything you read, but to analyze the subject matter and develop fluency. If you are an eager bookworm, then the chances are that you get lured into reading. If that is the case, why don't you put it for a good cause by telling the rest of the world what you have been reading and how you felt about it? You may recommend a book by shouting from the rooftop, or may ask people to avoid it like plague by writing a review. With this, I conclude this chapter in my life, but I stand firm to read and write my next chapter. With the rule of pick the pie, I have given you an opportunity to take, a puzzle to solve, a journey to complete, and a goal to achieve. May the transformational force be with you. Over to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jayalakshmi. That's our second speaker also come with a very informative ideas, and we must have to learn and we must have to spend time to do reading and all. And I really like that title, Pick the Pie. So